Is Death Stranding 2 on the beach the sequel fans were waiting for, or is it just more of the same long walks and cryptic storytelling? Right from the start, Death Stranding 2 sets a powerful tone. A desert landscape, a flowing river, a rugged mountain range, and Norman Reedus' Sam Porter Bridges back again, tenderly caring for Lou. It's been 11 months since the events of the first game, and this sequel picks up with emotional weight and a cinematic calm before the storm. As Sam stands up and the camera shifts behind him, you're immediately hit with a feeling of scale and purpose. The mountains ahead don't just look imposing, they feel like a challenge meant specifically for you. The music swells, the wind howls. This is unmistakably Kojima, and Death Stranding 2 wastes no time in showing you just how evolved it is. If you played the first Death Stranding, you already know the basics. Deliver cargo, connect people, avoid BTs, and rebuild the world. That core loop is still here, but in the sequel, everything has been polished and expanded. The game world is now a completely new continent. It's no longer the United Cities of America. This time, you're traversing an Australian-inspired wasteland that feels more alive than anything from the original. And the world fights back. Gate quakes, a new environmental hazard, can literally make the ground beneath you collapse. Sandstorms mess with your balance. Floods can wash away bridges and carefully placed structures. These aren't just gimmicks. They shape how you play and interact with the environment. Speaking of the setting, yes, Death Stranding 2 takes place in a distorted, post-apocalyptic version of Australia. And surprisingly, it captures the soul of the place. From the red sands and eerie isolation to the dry canyons and wildlife-inspired enemies, Kojima Productions clearly put effort into making this setting feel distinct and meaningful. The Australianisms even seep into the dialogue and flavor text, making it feel more grounded than the Icelandic-inspired world of the first game. It's still surreal, but now it's also charming and personal in new ways. One of the biggest upgrades here is in the combat. It's no longer something you dread or avoid. It actually feels fun. The shooting mechanics have weight, the AI is smarter, and you have more ways to approach combat scenarios: stealth, brute force, gadgets, or just clever avoidance. Cargo bandits? You can fight them head-on now with real confidence. Boss fights? They've evolved too. No longer are you just spamming grenades or relying on luck. These battles feel strategic, closer to Horizon Zero Dawn or Zelda than anything from the first Death Stranding. Each boss has a weakness, a pattern, and a unique feel, which makes every encounter memorable. Beyond human enemies, there are new chiral creatures to deal with. Think creepy flying bats that drain your battery, or jellyfish-like monsters that swarm if disturbed. These aren't just annoyances, they're real threats that change how you plan your route and what gear you bring. The environmental hazards also deserve another mention. Heavy rainfall isn't just for visuals, it actively breaks down your structures. You're no longer just managing balance and stamina, you're dealing with a living, breathing world that evolves and reacts. That unpredictability adds tension, but it also adds immersion. When it comes to story, Death Stranding 2 gets right to the point. No need for long world-building cinematics like in the first game. Because the foundation has already been laid, the pacing feels tighter and more focused. Story segments are spaced out better. You get time to explore, connect, and play before being pulled into a cinematic or emotional beat. It's clear Kojima learned from the pacing issues of the original and aimed for a more balanced structure. Even though the narrative might feel modular at times, possibly due to development during the pandemic, it still holds your attention. And let's not forget the music. Once again, Kojima knocks it out of the park with the soundtrack. The way the music kicks in during key moments feels cinematic without being forced. From slow, haunting melodies to sudden bursts of energy, it all works to build tension, emotion, and atmosphere. The visuals, too, are breathtaking. One particular encounter, while under wraps for spoiler reasons, stands out as one of the most stunning in any game, period. It's a powerful reminder that Death Stranding 2 is not just about mechanics or exploration, but also about awe-inspiring moments that stick with you. The freedom you get in this sequel is another strong point. You're not boxed into one playstyle. Want to build and connect through infrastructure? Go for it. Want to avoid everything and just stealth your way across the map? That works too. Prefer fighting? The game allows it. The design encourages you to be creative with your approach, and it rewards you for helping other players indirectly. Yes, the asynchronous online systems are back. Bridges, ladders, zip lines, what you build can still help others. It's a unique multiplayer experience that doesn't require interaction, but still creates a community feeling. Of course, not everything's perfect. Some concerns still hang in the air. The modular feel of the story might affect how emotionally cohesive it ends up being. There's a chance the narrative could feel stitched together rather than seamless. Also, while the new gameplay systems make the game more accessible, they might make it too easy for players who want a deeper challenge. And the overly ambitious nature of Kojima's storytelling could still go off the rails, especially if you remember how divisive Metal Gear Solid 4 was. So is Death Stranding 2 on the beach worth playing based on the demo? Absolutely. If you're looking for a refined, more confident version of the original experience. It offers meaningful improvements in combat, exploration, and world building while keeping the unique identity that made Death Stranding so memorable. It's more alive, more dynamic, and more player-friendly without losing that weird Kojima charm. If you didn't like Death Stranding, this probably won't change your mind. But if you were curious, enjoyed parts of the first game, or want something different in a sea of safe sequels, this is one to watch closely. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, hope this demo breakdown helped give a clearer picture of what Death Stranding 2 on the beach is bringing to the table. Whether you're a fan of the first game or just curious about the sequel, there's a lot to think about. More updates and details will surface as things get closer, so stay tuned and thanks again for spending your time here.